Boom. All right, we're live. Ready? We gotta get close. What's up, Facebook Live? I am here with my main man, Lance Growth, from 1030. What is it? Growth 1031. 1031. We just go straight into it.
This is good.
This is raw, unedited. For the uninitiated, we have actually tried this before. This is months in the making.
No, actually, no. It's been months, literally.
We tried this once before, and we did the entire interview on Facebook Live, and then come to find out when we rewatched it, your audio wasn't working. It was like cutting in and out because we were doing it over a live stream. So we said, forget that. Let's get in person, rap about 1031s right here on Facebook Live, just for the world to see. This time it can't be messed up audio-wise.
I'll try not to.
Anyways, Lance, thanks for coming on, my man.
Good to see you.
Hey, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to jump in front of my, my followers and whatnot. Explain a little bit about who you are, what you do. So tell us who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, Lance Grove, originally from Hartford, Connecticut, and I came here specifically to study real estate and tax law. I went to Thomas Jefferson School of Law, right across the street now in the old Darth Vader building.
That's right, they moved.
And as soon as I was done with law school, it was, I studied property and tax law, so a lot of my friends were doing investing, and I just always researched it, and I just landed in 1031 exchange as an accommodator. So immediately after being an accommodator, I just gradually kind of grew in a position. Went to a big company in San Francisco. And then I opened a Southern California office, crushed it. And when you're doing really well, you do what all young, ambitious men do.
That's right.
You say, hey, want to make me an owner? No? All right. So
you went and started your own thing?
Yeah, started Growth 1031.
All right.
And it's been a ridiculously amazing year because a lot of support from the community. People really just enjoy the fact that I'm just like, hey, I like to educate. Let me know if you need me. And I've done a lot of business, and now we're kind of just, transitioning to expansion, but still focusing on just 1031 exchanges.
Perfect. And so that is a perfect segue into our opening question, right? So what is a 1031 exchange? If anybody's like unfamiliar with it, just go layman's terms, tell us what that is.
Layman's terms?
Layman's terms.
Difficult for me, but verbatim definition is a section of the U.S. Internal Revenue Code that defers capital gains tax on an exchange of like-kind properties held for business or investment, and that is verbatim definition, but layman's term is when you sell a piece of property, it's a taxable event. In order to defer those taxes, you have to do a 1031 exchange, come to a qualified intermediary, that's our company, Growth 1031, and then we give you a set of rules for you to follow so that you don't have to pay those taxes at the time. It defers into your new property. So
perfect. So I buy a building for $700, I sell it for $1 million. That $300,000 is subject to a taxable gain.
Absolutely.
And by doing a 1031, and so by rolling it into a like-kind property, I can roll that taxable gain on that $300,000 to the next property.
Absolutely. 4 basic things for anybody to remember about a 1031 exchange is simple. 1, is your property qualified? How you defer your taxes? What are your timelines? And what are your timelines to ID? What's your entire timeline? So they sell the property, close escrow. They have to call us before they close escrow. But as soon as you close escrow, you ask yourself the question: if your property qualifies, that means it's held for business or investment. When you sell the piece of property, you have to reinvest into a new property of equal or greater in value. So you sell for $500, you buy for $500. At the close of escrow, everyone has 45 days to identify the replacement property. Just has to be in writing, unambiguous. And by that, they just have to hand me a piece of paper. So this is the property address, this is the amount, sign it, here you go, Lance. And then the last rule, at the close of escrow, concurrently, at the same time the 45-day rule starts, your 180-day rule starts, where they have to actually close escrow on the replacement property. So does the property qualify? Yes, if you sell for business or investment. How to defer your taxes? Purchase at equal or greater. 45 at the close of escrow. 45 days to identify. Close of escrow. 180 days to close escrow.
Is there a limit on how many times you can do that?
No, not at all.
Got it. So if I went from 700 to $1 million, and then 10 years later I went from $1 million to 1.5, but as long as it stays in the same name and it's still this commercial or like-kind property, right? You can flip it up basically.
As long as you're still commercial, because like-kind literally means are you using it for the same intent?
Right. So a rental property to a rental property, a commercial property to a commercial property, something like that.
Not commercial to your home.
To a home.
Or else you'd be audited.
Audited.
Don't get audited.
Busted. All right. So if that's the case, then because you kind of explained number 2, which was like what are the terms, who can qualify for this, and things like that. And I think I've run into this a few times too, where this is a great thing for investors, obviously, people who use rental properties or whatnot, and they want to upsize, right?
Yep.
Can you split it into 2?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I've seen that too, and I just want to know the logistics of that, right? So instead so 700,000, you go up to $1 million. Could you buy 2 for 5?
Absolutely. You can, like I always tell people, don't focus on the structure. Don't focus, if I have 1 building, I have to get 1 building. Focus on the amount.
Yeah.
Like if you have 700,000, you have to own at least 700,000. You can go and get 5, 100, 7, 100,000.
Yep.
I don't care how you structure it.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, they actually go, if they sell for $1 million, they put 900 over here, and they put 100 over here into some small thing.
Yep.
Because all we care about is that you own as much real estate as you sold.
As you did before. So that's how you break it down, and then you start to spread out your empire.
Yep.
As you break it from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, whatever, as you grow up. Bingo. All right, so lastly, I want to give you a little bit of time here because there's something new that's coming down the pipe.
Yep.
I've heard a little bit about it, I've read a little bit about it, but I'm not super well versed, but you are. Tell us about opportunity zones.
Opportunity zones. If a part of the Tax Cut and Job Act was in there for December 2017, there's basically this huge tax benefit where if the governor designates a specific area, that area being of low income needs, and it's certified by the U.S. Treasury, then that place is considered an opportunity zone.
Okay.
Now, if you want to defer your taxes into this area, you have to go to what's called an opportunity fund, and that fund is certified by the U.S. Treasury, but the person can self-certify. But the whole point, there's all these areas that you can invest into, and if you invest into there, you defer your taxes, but if you stay into the investment for 5 years, 10% of your capital gains tax completely exempt. 7 years, 15%, and then 10 years, 100% capital gains tax
Is gone, right? Boom. So this is a way to shake that capital gains tax that you would eventually have to pay at the end of your 1031 trail once you sell that property. Eventually it's going to catch up. You got to pay that, right?
Yeah.
This is a way to shake that, make it completely disappear. So why would the government in essence do this, right? Why would they allow this to happen? Is this just to increase money coming into opportunity zones?
Yeah. Well, it's a social program. I know it's built from a tax and U.S. Treasury perspective, but it's actually a social program. The reason is when we are still in what do you call after 2008 or
the recession, but then coming up to the
recovery mode. We're still in recovery mode.
Yeah.
And we've been in recovery mode before, and then normally what happens is recovery goes to specific areas like the downtowns, like the UTC, like the La Jolla. They're like, hey, I want you to put some of that, I don't know, in the hood. To help some of these people, because it is meant to spur investment. Because here's the big thing about it. Why didn't I say this? It's not specific to real estate. Any capital gains on business that you sell, on stocks that you have, they are looking for people to go in there and invest in business and invest in real estate, create jobs to stimulate those areas. Actually, that's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing.
Specific to real estate.
So you think of a 1031, I think you're going to be out of the frame too. We've got to come up.
Oh, sorry.
So when you think of a 1031, you think of selling real estate and then buying real estate, right? So, but in the case of opportunity zone, when you sell a stock, you have your gains tax on that stock too, right? And so you can't 1031 a stock and hide that, right? As far as I know.
No.
But what you can do with opportunity zones is you can take that capital gains from your stock sale or your real estate sale or your business sale or anything that you would have a capital gains increase or tax on, and then dump that into an opportunity zone investment, which is probably going to be a real estate or business investment there. You can't buy stock in an opportunity zone, but you have a real estate or a business investment in an opportunity zone, and you can hold it for if you hold it for 10 years, you eliminate that capital gains liability.
Actually, the top 10 companies are stocks, companies as security companies, and the top 10 companies that have investing an average of $1.3 billion each in opportunities.
So maybe they know something that we should know. You know what I mean? Okay.
Even at the conference, I'm speaking at Opportunity Zone Expo. It's January 25th. Look it up. If you want.
Google it. That's this week.
Yeah.
Nice, man. That's big things.
And it's just funny. I'm getting a lot of calls, and I swear, when it comes to the opportunity zones, 30% of all my calls are guys in New York.
Really?
Calling. Hey, I saw you on here doing this. We'd love to talk more, because there's a lot of uncertainty around this thing.
Yeah.
Hate to see IRS did a very poor job releasing this.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to cover so many areas. Like the people that like me, the specific 1031, a guy like me was like, hey, do you guys see this?
Yeah.
You know, in terms of, you know, when these complicated transactions happens, how does this play? They're like, well, give me more guidelines later.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but with this, it is a large volume of Wall Street coming into this.
That makes sense.
They're going to be coming to all areas, and one thing we know, once this really gets going, it's going to be limited options because they're all, you know, specific areas. But these people are already getting contacted.
Yeah.
These people are already like, hey, you selling your property? Great. Can we buy it? And these people are flooding.
Yeah.
So by the time the rest of the world really catches up, and like, oh, I'm gonna go to the opportunity zone. Like, dude, it's bought up.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
It's bought up.
There's
There's
nothing
luck.
Yeah, there's nothing left. So, all right, you just dropped knowledge on everybody, not just on 1031s. Everybody knows you're the 1031 guy. This Lance is freaking everywhere. Everywhere I look in the San Diego real estate community, you're there. Networking events, caravans, sponsorship, all this type of stuff. I see you everywhere. So I think you're the undisputed king of 1031s. But now you just dropped mad knowledge about opportunity zones too. So you have a whole nother wrinkle that's going to blow you up in 2019. I love seeing this.
So my thing, no matter what, like even if you see me in all these different circles and you see me sponsored, my big thing is to support people.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
It's even in class, like my teacher back in school used to say, Lance, you shouldn't hang with your friends. You know, because I always did well in school, but I'm not a guy that's like consolidates information. I'm like, hey, I learned this, let me turn around, here you go.
That's why you're here with me, man. I vibe with that.
All day, dude. Like,
transparency.
I'm not trying to consolidate information to have some advantage. I'm like, dude, I'm doing okay over here. I think it can help you. Here you go.
Yeah, here's how I got here. Just come this way.
Honestly.
I'll be the trailblazer. You just follow me. Just here's how I did it.
Dude, especially with this in particular, because it's just it's a niche group of people that are just focusing on this stuff. And I'm just like, hey, and especially to real estate agents, dude, if you're sitting down with a client and they ask you about rental property and you're uncertain, give me a call. I'll talk to them for you. I'll give you marketing. I'll tell you what to say.
Yeah.
I do not care as long as that helps you.
Yeah.
And on this end too, it's just that everybody's kind of slightly terrified because the market's shifting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, it is. Now here are some ginormous benefits that can help curb that fear. Just take a look, add it to your repertoire, add it to your toolset. You do better and we do better.
Bingo.
As always, dude.
I love it, man. Hey, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me
in St. Louis, rolling on the.
You can find me in the hood. You can find me. We're offices in UTC, La Jolla area. But if you ever want to contact us, you can go to Growth 1031. It's my last name, 1031. You can give us a call. It's the easiest number in the world. 619-991-1031.
Oh, that's smart. You did that. I see that. I see how you did that. Hey, thank you so much for coming in, talking to the people, man. I hope that you crush it on Friday at your expo, man, and I know you will. So appreciate it, and thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
Thanks, brother.
Crush time, dude.
I hope this looks good.
It's definitely better.